it's just certain things where I feel like with parenting, I like don't want to kind of I don't want to be the parent to where I feel like you can't tell me nothing. So I always said before I be a parent, I want to be a friend to my child. And I feel like, you know, I feel like a lot of people, me, for example, I wouldn't grow up, I wouldn't tell my parents like the shit that I was really hiding on the inside. I wouldn't tell my parents how I felt mentally or, you know, the things I was going through. But my friend come around, tell them motherfuckers anything.
Right.
Like, yeah, man, this going on, this. But I wouldn't have them conversations with my parents. I was afraid to. So moving forward, I feel like it hindered certain things in the household. So growing up, I want to be able to come to my daughter to where she's so comfortable with me. She can tell me anything. Because it might be something that she really need to tell me. And it might be something that might piss me off that she's so comfortable to tell me. I might get mad.
That's what I was going to ask you. Are you going to be comfortable with all that shit?
Like, I feel like you got to, because the thing is that I'm realizing with this generation, and I've been holding like town hall meetings with kids and parents.
Right.
So I just did a town hall meeting so where it's like, I think about 100 parents and 100 kids kind of showed up. And we all talked about the problems within the community, the household, and what was going on. And one of the big problems was like communication. Yeah. Feeling like they can't talk to their parents about what's really going on.
Right.
That's huge. It might not be deemed as huge, but how many of us really like, I know motherfuckers like, y'all done had, one of y'all done had chlamydia before or something. You know what I'm saying? Never. All right, so boom. I'm gonna be honest, when I was about 15, 14, I probably had like, I thought I had chlamydia one time, but it was really cause when I was going to the, I wasn't drinking water, I drank straight sodas. So when I peed, my dick would burn.
You had a UTI.
Yeah, so I'm thinking like, there's something wrong with me. But I was scared to tell Pop or tell my mama because I'm like, man, they gonna be like, you fucking, you doing this, you hear me? So I was scared to really go to the doctor. But what if I had AIDS? You
just would have been in the crib, just like sinking.
Yeah, so like, you never really.
You got gonorrhea, you go blind one day. They're like, what happened? Gonorrhea for 7 years. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
So see, like, it's just things like that. Like, want to be able to. My daughter, if it's anything like, Dad, I know you might be mad, but you've always listened to me. This is going on, or I lost my virginity here, or I got raped. Like some daughters tuck like that and don't tell nobody.
That's real.
Like every girl I done talked to done been like, you know, touched in a certain way, or like
couldn't tell their parents.
And really couldn't tell. So I just say he the thing.
I told a lot of females that I came across like that. I'm like, you carrying something heavy.
Yeah.
You need to have that conversation.
You can tell, like I'm an empath. I feel it. You can tell.
Yeah.
I read body language. You can tell like how a motherfucker sleep. You know what I'm saying? If something happened to him. Yeah. Like you could tell. Like people be saying it.
Certain girls just jump up. No
or
matter
they
what.
ball up. Or you know what I'm saying? So you just know like
shit's crazy.
Something happened. You know. So.
Yeah. So what if your daughter comes to you and tells you about the gooch? Then what?
And we're back.
Like Gucci is a nice brand. I don't think you should be into Gucci right now.
Dad, I thought your name was Nle Choppa, but somebody called you Gucci Man. Why they call you Gucci Man?
That's crazy. But you know,
different video, baby.
It's funny because I talk to my daughters about stuff like that, and they real young. Their mothers don't necessarily like. My kids' mothers, they be like, no, not yet. And I'd be like, fuck that shit outside right now.
Yeah.
He gonna go outside, talk to his friend gonna put him on, then his friend gonna be his source of information forever.
That's what I'm saying. I mean? If you don't do it, somebody else is.
Word. So I tell my daughters about shit. They're 8 and 6. And their favorite thing to do is to shake their butts and then run away from me because they know I'm like, yo, don't be doing that shit. And they'll be like, Dad. You know,
so where does the, and this is a question that I can't answer, where does the parenting part come in? Because I hear where the friendship part is. And I dig wanting to foster the communication. My father told me earlier, I'll never punish you for telling the truth. Yeah. I'll punish you for being rude, punish you for talking out of turn. Like you'll get in trouble for that stuff, but you'll never get in trouble for telling the truth. If you're telling the truth, that's not what I'm gonna come at you for. And I was always able to tell him the truth off the strength of that. And now I have a career where all I do is tell people the truth.
Right.
Where does the parenting part kick in? Like, where's the line between being a friend and being a parent and saying, yo, I know you told me the truth. You're not necessarily in trouble. However, this was foul. This thing you did was fucked up. This is like not cool. This is not acceptable.
I feel like basic guidance.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like as parents, you know, I feel like, you know, what is the real definition of a parent? You know what I'm saying? I feel like once we break that down, that's the definition we should live by. You know, a parent is just, you know, you conceive, or, you know, the woman conceive, and the best thing you can do is just be the best person, the best guider, so they don't make the same mistakes you made. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna tell you like this, like my mama, throughout my whole life, like she always warned me about this, she always warned me about that, and I still get burnt in the process of doing it. Everything that she warned me about, my hard head had testing waters, and what she was telling me was true. But it took me for one day for me to dig deep inside and realize like I'm gonna be the better person, I'm gonna do these things, I'm gonna do that. It wasn't nothing like mama told me this and now I'm this type man. It was never that. It was
What
more so.
What was the situation that caused that transition?
Man, I remember like being in my lows, and it was like when I had everything I wanted. I was like 17. This was like a year after I blew up, quarantine, 2020. COVID. And I was in my lowest, and I had everything I wanted. I had money, jewelry, car, clothes, women. But the thing that was crumbling in my life was everything personal, like my well-being, my mental. Relationship with my mama, I was rude as hell. Like, you know, it should never be to the point to where me and my mama, we cussing each other out like we niggas in the streets. You know, so it got to that point, and I blame it a lot on like drug usage and like just being around the wrong people and all of these things. And I just said a real deep prayer one night because I knew I was going down the wrong path. Last thing my mama told me, she was like, you know what? I'm done with you. I'm gonna just wait on my call. And that fucked me up, you know. If you know what wait on my call is, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just wait on that call. And it fucked me up and it left me something to think about. Yeah. And I just said a real deep prayer, man, and after that, I found like meditation. Like the next morning, I started meditating, and it was the first time I ever felt like peace in my life. Like it's like the only time I ever felt like I took a break from the world and came back to the source and just what was on the inside of me and what God put on me. Right. And after that, like, you know, I went vegan, stopped doing drugs, and I stopped hanging around 30 niggas, you know what I'm saying? And I became the respectful, the right being I was supposed to be that she was always molding me into. But that goes back to parenting. It was nothing that my mama could have said or could have showed me that would have made me get to that point unless I looked myself in the mirror and said, I'm making a change. So like, what are we as parents? What can we really do? You know, people, we can hide our kids from the streets, we can do all these different things, but at the end of the day, I see the best parents lose their kids to the streets. I see the best parents have to bury their child. Right. So it's really not the parents sometimes, it's you. You know what I'm saying? It's who we are.
But the choices that you make.
But parents play a big part.
Yeah, because she did say something to you that invoked you to go and have a deep prayer.
But for sure. But I'm gonna give you another example as well. Like some niggas get successful and they grow up zero parents, foster home. Jimmy Butler, he was kicked out on the street at 12. You know what I'm saying? And had to go through foster homes, live with white people. Like don't know. Like I'm gonna tell you, like I've been through every part of my life, but the toughest part of my life was having to be in an environment that it was hard to adapt in. Like I done went to an all-white school. That shit ain't easy. That shit harder than going to the hoodest school in America. You know? So like, I know how these things is, but I just feel like it always go back to when you look in the mirror and you wanna realize you wanna make that change.
It's Hoffa. Trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rappers. Got bars, I can hang with the backpackers. Trap star, I don't hang with the backpackers. I'm in the hood with the work, you heard. Making fiends leave earth, you heard. Got your baby mama thirst, you heard. Feel the flow, nigga, throw it in reverse. This the wave you need to surf, you heard.